Case number 2602, Margaret Nelson versus Leroy Calvin. Can you please step up? All right, welcome. And Miss Nelson, you're suing Mr. Calvin, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and tell me why we're suing Mr. Calvin.
I'm suing him for property damage, abandonment of the project, and property theft. And I'm seeking $90,000 in damages.
$90,000 in damages.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's start with the property damage. What happened?
Well, I hired him to help me renovate my house.
Okay, just speak up for me. Mm-hmm.
I hired him to renovate my house.
Okay.
To do some repairs. And all I got was a mess. Okay. He was to redo my cabinets in my kitchen. They were hung crookedly. There was a floor, the floor had to be replaced. Mm-hmm. And he scratched the floor when he was putting it down. I hired him to do interior painting. There was paint spilled all over the floors. And I also hired him to do bathroom fixture upgrades. And that was a mess. My faucet has never been right since he put it in. And was just terrible. It was a terrible experience altogether.
And did you send into the court the contract with stating the itemized things that he should be doing?
Yes, Judge, I did. I also sent photographs of the mess that he made.
Okay, I see them here. Okay. So you said cabinet, floor, paint, bathroom fixtures. So all of those were incomplete, or he did them incorrectly?
They were really done poorly.
Okay.
And not just that, he damaged some of the things in my house. He damaged 2 doors and a wall by bringing in materials. He made a hole in the wall. The doors need to be replaced because they have scratches on them and dents.
Okay, so based on what you said here and the information that I'm seeing, I'm trying to figure out where does the $90,000 in damages come from, because this doesn't equate to $90,000.
Well, I have to hire somebody to fix all of this. So some of it has to be completely taken out and replaced. He also stole jewelry from me, while he was in the house. It was a diamond tennis bracelet, my late husband's Movado watch.
Based on what I'm seeing that he worked on here, how much money have you paid him thus far?
I paid him almost $60,000.
60?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you paid him $60,000, and you said because he's done a poor job, you now have to hire someone else.
I also would like a replacement of the jewelry that he stole.
Okay, and now that I don't see, how much is that tennis bracelet? Like, what is the cost of that?
The tennis bracelet was about $10,000.
Okay, so $10,000 for a tennis bracelet. Okay, mm-hmm. All right. So now I'm going to hold right there. Let's go over to Mr. Calvin. Please let me know your side of the situation.
First off, hi, Judge. Thank you for giving me the floor. Thank you for the time. Everything that she is saying is fabricated to a crazy degree. Payment, I will get to that later because that was non-existent for one. So yes, she did hire me to do a job. I am a man that leaves 10 guys that work around the home to do these jobs. We were doing them. We did take care of the kitchen. We did fix everything. The only issue and the primary issue was as we were doing these tasks. I'm not sure if she remembers. There's a process to this whole thing. When we met, we talked about the budget. We talked about how much material I need, how much we were going to pay for that material. We agreed to that. We agreed to the specific tasks, the kitchen, the fixtures, the interior painting. Fine, that's okay, great. But while we were there, as we were doing the jobs, she added more tasks on top of that.
So, okay, so let me pause it right there. So the initial task was, you said interior painting. That was the initial task.
Yep.
And what else was a part of it? Interior painting.
It was interior
bathroom,
painting. It was fixture replacement.
bathroom fixtures. Okay.
Yes, it was also for the flooring as well. That was another factor into it, which is probably what she's trying to say, that we scratched it.
Okay, now what were the items or the things that she was piling up outside of the initial request?
So on top of that, she wanted additional painting into other rooms that we didn't even discuss about. And I told her the day of, when she was adding all these different tasks, from that to even more fixture replacements and like, I guess, their guest home, I was saying, hey, that's okay. That's completely fine. We can do that. But the thing is, we didn't discuss that with this deposit, with this payment. We can do that the next payment schedule. That's okay. We have to discuss that after this job is done.
Okay.
She didn't like the sound of that. She wanted everything to be done now.
So she wanted the additional stuff to be added on while you were completing the first task.
Exactly.
With payment, without payment, did she pay you for the additional?
No, because when I told her, hey, we'll do it the next scheduled payment after we discuss it. I have to get the material. I have to give her a quote for all that stuff. I didn't bring the quote for that.
Okay.
She didn't like the sound of that. She was like, all right, if you're not going to do it, I'm not going to pay you guys at all.
So the additional stuff she wanted done, she decided, because you can't do it, I'm not going to pay you for any of your work?
100%. And
so the $60,000.
That's non-existent. I don't know where she got that number from.
And ma'am, you didn't provide any records of the $60,000. I don't see a receipt. I don't see payments, increments. I don't see any of that. I just see the pictures of his work.
Well, I do have checks where I wrote them out to him.
Have you submitted those to the court? Because I'm going based off of what you submitted.
I didn't bring them with me because I thought.
What did you think? Because how do I go from there? $60,000, I would absolutely have that, handed that in to the court, because I have nothing to look at, ma'am. So you tell me, I mean, $60,000, you're requesting $90,000. So $60,000 worth of work is what you paid him. And then you said $10,000 for the bracelet. So that makes 70. So the 90,000, where's the extra 20,000? Somebody to hire, redo it again just for 20,000?
Yeah, well, it's a big mess. So they have to they have to take things out and start all over again. I'm going to have to buy new cabinets because of the way that he put them in.
She didn't let us finish, Your Honor.
Is that true? Did you not let him finish?
I have my bank statements that you can see where I took money out.
So I have to look at what's submitted. You didn't submit those. I would have to look over those to make sure that they're accurate at this point. And we don't have that kind of time, because I would need to verify if it's true, call up the bank, call up his side, his company, to see if they received payment. That should have been submitted long ago, ma'am.
This is all emotional distress too, Your Honor.
So how is this emotional distress?
Because
you didn't allow him to finish the
him.
job. You stopped him in the middle of the job. So how do you know he wasn't going to clean up the floor?
He stopped in the middle of the job. He just left. He just abandoned
Did
the
he
project.
leave after you said, I'm not paying you? Or was this before you paid him? Because I don't see records of payment. I would stop too if you keep saying you're going to pay me and I'm not seeing any payment.
100%.
I did pay him, and I don't know why he's saying that I did not pay him.
To who? To what coworker of
Ma'am,
mine? Who did you
sir,
speak to?
I got it, sir. I don't see any record of payment. Now, if you can prove that to me at a later date and we can bring this back to court, that's a possibility. But as far as the payment, I do not see. However, I do see the pictures. I do see his work. But the pictures are incomplete in the sense of he stopped working because you weren't paying him. I don't see the final product because you stopped paying him. Of course, if you stop somebody in the middle of the job, it's going to be incomplete and it's not going to be all the way done. So him stopping in the middle of the job, that's not his completed work. Because I do see his completed work with other homes he's done, and it looks immaculate. It looks like a great job. But the pictures are real. The pictures are accurate. And I understand that. But that's because he stopped in the middle of the job because you said you weren't going to pay him. Now, do you have proof of this interaction of her saying she's not going to pay you other than no payments?
Your Honor, I have 10 employees under me that were there that day. I told them immediately when she said that to us, like, hey, I'm not going to pay you guys at all if you can't do this right then and now.
And did you receive any down payment prior to getting the materials? Do you have any of
So
that?
normally we do go with that method of doing a deposit. We normally do. But because she wanted this at a very efficient time and it was last minute, I was like, okay, you know what? I'll get my guys there. We'll deal with this deposit stuff after the fact.
Okay,
then,
so he was doing you a due diligence and being kind. We'll start on it and put trust in you to know that he was going to get paid at least some deposit, and he did it.
Your Honor, I did give him money for the materials that he was going to use.
How much money did you give him?
I gave him $30,000,
But you told me $60,000, man.
Well, I also gave him $30,000 later while he was doing the work. And the whole project was going to cost $90,000.
Mr. Calvin, do you have a record of this $30,000?
No, I don't, Your Honor. And she was talking about earlier, emotional distress. Personally, for me, I don't want to say I'm super emotionally distressed, but the thing is, not only did she not pay us, Your Honor, she's also putting negative reviews about us and my company. Now, you have me, you have my 10 guys. At the end of the day, we need to be paid. We didn't get paid for our labor. We didn't get paid for the materials. These are 10 guys under me. They all have families. They all have food on the table that needs to be taken care of.
So, ma'am, did you do a review about his company that can cause him loss of income because you didn't explain on the side of why it was left the way it was left? Is that what I'm hearing? You left a review about his company?
I write reviews for people who work for me, yes.
So was it a dishonest review? Because
No.
did you include in the review, however, I did not pay him, which is why my work was left incomplete?
No, I said I didn't finish paying him. I didn't finish paying him because he didn't finish the work.
Ma'am, as of right now, the $90,000 is absurd. That's where I'm going to start off. I'm hearing inconsistencies in your story. 1 minute it was $60,000, then you paid him 30, then you paid him 30 again later. I don't have any proof of that other than pictures of his work. So that's that first situation. Then I'm looking at the pictures. Yes, I do see some evidence of some incomplete work, but that's because you told this man he's not getting paid. So why would I continue? Just think of the logic. Why would I continue working if somebody told me they're not going to pay me? I'm in the middle of a job and you just decide I'm not going to pay you. And so therefore I'm going to keep working. Why would I keep working? So of course it's incomplete. We don't know how the final product. I'm looking at his work on his website. I'm looking at all positive reviews except yours. So it's feeling like you're the common denominator, ma'am. I mean, can you understand what that looks like?
Why would I pay him if the work was insufficient?
First of all, you didn't let him finish.
You know what
okay?
She wanted luxury work for free. That's what it was. That's all it was.
Because the pictures you're giving me right now, I see a scuff on the floor. I see one of the hinges on the cabinet is a little loose, but I also see the later picture where it was fixed. So I'm seeing very minute things in here. I'm looking at the picture. It's not enough to be requesting $90,000 in damages. So from this point, I'm not seeing property damage. And then this tennis bracelet, you didn't provide any type of documentation where you had a tennis bracelet in the first place. Yeah. So I don't see that. I'm not understanding the evidence of theft. So at this point, ma'am, unless you can provide some bank statements and some payments directly to his company, at some point there can be a later date for another court appearance. At this point, I'm going to have to go ahead and dismiss your case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Case dismissed.
I do not understand why this man doesn't think that doing stellar work should be paid for. He didn't do stellar work. He was really difficult. It was very difficult. It took a very long time, and everything that he did was just a mess. I'm really disappointed that the judge didn't understand that I have already paid this man 2/3 of what he said that I should pay him. And now I am out a whole renovation of my house and have to start all over again.
I just want to say, I am truly grateful that Judge Winslow saw my side. There was no proof. This lady was bad mouthing just to do it. I feel like she was trying to say that I'm a scam artist, something like that, when she's a scam artist. It made no sense. Think about it. Why would I do a job, do it half-baked, leave randomly, and steal from her as well? That makes no sense. What do I gain out of that? Obviously, it's going to track right back to me. It doesn't even add up. And me stealing, I never stole anything as much as a chewing gum in a gas station. I'm from Troop 263, Scouts Honor. I would never steal. That's not our way. I'm just glad this whole thing is over. Hopefully my business could keep on moving. No more cancellations or anything like that. I just want to move from this and just get everything taken care of.
Leroy says he can't understand why anyone would think he didn't deserve payment for his work. He insists Margaret is a real scam artist, pointing out it wouldn't make sense for him to do a half-finished job and steal from her, since it would obviously trace back to him. He swears he'd never steal, even mentioning his scout background, and just hopes to move past this so his business can keep running without further cancellations.